कुछ होने में और बहुत कुछ होने में इतना सा फर्क है, एक बार सोच के छोड़ देने में और लग के कर दिखाने में। मान लेने में कि जिंदगी ऐसे ही कटेगी और सुबह 4 बजे उठ के सोचने में कि अभी तो बस शुरुआत है। किसी मैगजीन को हाथ में लेने में और उसी मैगजीन के कवर पेज पे होने में इतना सा ही तो फर्क है। वीआईपी सीट में और उसकी पिछली सीट में इतना सा ही तो फर्क है। वो जिसका मैदान ही खुला आसमान है, वही कल जमीन पर तो था। पूछोगे तो बताएगा वो पंछी कि एक दायरे में सिमटने में और पूरी दुनिया को दायरा बनाने में बस इतना सा फर्क है। कितना है, इतना है या इतना है, जो नापेगा वो जाने कि जहां धरती और आसमान मिलते हैं, नानकुर से दूर, अगर मगर शायद से दूर, वहां भी दोनों में फर्क बस इतना सा है। धरती और सातवें आसमान में फर्क बस इतना सा है। ये एक अंतर प्रेरणा है। ये हमारी, आपकी, हम सब की अंतर प्रेरणा है। एक कदम, एक छलांग, एक बाजी, एक गहरी सांस और एक ललकार खुली हवाओं में कि हाँ, मैं बना हूं उन फिजाओं के लिए, कि हाँ, मैं बना हूं उन ऊंचाइयों के लिए जो ऊंची तो बहुत है पर नामुमकिन भी नहीं, क्योंकि मुमकिन और नामुमकिन में बस इतना सा फर्क है। धूप छांव में फर्क बस इतना सा है। तो बस चलिए फ्रेंचाइज इंडिया के साथ ये फर्क मिटा देते हैं। फ्रेंचाइज इंडिया, 20 years of ideas.
A very good afternoon to all the dear friends, potential business buyers, those who have joined us today for our webinar series. Franchise India teams welcomes each one of you to our digital representation of the business opportunity which we have got for each one of you. Franchise India, the brand where our aim is to provide the maximum business opportunities with all the investors so that they can take the correct and the complete understanding about the financial franchise as well as business model the brand is offering in market. And we truly claim that no one sells more business than us because we have helped more than 78,000 investors in getting the business solution from our side. We welcome management team of Franchise India, Gaurav Sir and Sonia ma'am. During the course of this particular webinar, once we'll get the understanding about the business model from our brand founder, we'll move towards the panel discussion where we'll be taking all your queries. So we request each one of you to share your feedback, your query in chat box, in question and answer box, I'm so sorry. The business opportunity which we have got for each one of you is the brand which represent the waste management vertical. And we have invited the team of My Green Bean to talk about their financial model, their business model, franchise model with each one of us. And we invite Mr. Sarvan Raj, who is talking about this great initiative which he has taken with his team. Thank you so much, sir, for joining in today to talk about your business model and digitally interacting with each and every investor who has joined. Over to you, sir.
Yeah, thank you, Archana, for the opportunity. Hope my audio is very clear. Yeah, thank you.
Yes, sir.
I will share my screen, then I will start my presentation. Yeah. Today I'm going to talk about the business opportunity in waste management. See, as far as for past 2 or 3 years, waste management is an upcoming field. And that is the need of the environment and also the need of the community. We Greenrich Grow India have formulated some good waste management concepts, which I want to present it and I want to take it throughout the country. Thank you for the opportunity. Yeah. Basically, when you see about the waste management, poor waste management contributes to the climate change, water pollution, air pollution, and it directly affects many ecosystems. The major problems affecting the waste management shall be the improper collection of waste, the filling of the landfill, and all the ethical problems which follow because of the lack of the awareness of the waste management. Generally, they say in Mumbai alone, 6,500 to 6,800 metric tons of garbage is produced per day. And on that, 73% is the organic food or the food waste that is getting generated from our kitchens. Despite BMC's dikkat that the waste, the source, at source, the waste to be segregated, but people are not following it. And the major chunk of this waste is being dumped into the dumping grounds. And this has been witnessing for happening for past several years, and not only in Mumbai, in several parts of the cities all over the country. Greenrich Grow India is an effective environment management system where we provide micro solution where wet waste is composted into a very good organic manure or compost to avoid the landfill, thereby re-establishing the ecosystem by nourishing the soil with high microbial content of the compost. Before going into the business opportunity, we should understand what is the problem that is there in our country. Basically, India is a growing population. And in urban India, they say by 2050 will be the third largest garbage producer. So the whatever the garbage we produce or whatever the waste we produce, everything goes into the landfill. Or I can say most of the thing goes into the landfill. Thanks to the Swachh Bharat, now only the government has started some initiation in processing some of the wet waste, and few of the cities like Indore have excellently adapted this particular system and they have turned it into a clean city. And do you know, there are around 10 million tons of waste is generated in the major metropolitan cities alone. And in 2009, there is a report that around 52 millions of untreated waste is being deposited in the landfill. So these landfills, whenever it is deposited, it creates a lot of problem. What kind of problem? This situation you would have seen in most of your cities, be it in Mumbai, be it in Chennai, be it in Delhi, that the waste is deposited in an unorganized manner. This results in the climate change, the air pollution, the water pollution, and also the soil pollution. It also disturbs the ozone layer because of the generation of the methane from this particular landfill. Because of this unorganized sector, the entire climatic control is also changed. And they say around the dump yard, maybe up to 10 kilometers, the water is getting polluted, and people are also getting a lot of health hazards, health problems because of this particular landfill. Before going into the business opportunity, we should know what is a waste. It might be slightly educational. Most of you might be handling this particular thing also, maybe doing this. Still, I want to take you through this particular topic. What is waste? Whatever we throw away that getting used is called waste. Why we should manage waste? Because the waste affects the environment. It affects the air, land, water, plants, and man-made things. So to create an healthy environment and a happy environment, we need to manage the waste. What are all the waste categories? So we have to understand what are all the waste categories that is generated generally. The major category is what we call as wet waste. This wet waste is whenever we have food, the wet waste is getting generated. It will be vegetable peels, the fruit waste, the fruit peels, the balanced food, the tea leaves, the coffee powder, and of course the garden leaves is also, we call it as wet waste or biodegradable waste. And garlands and flowers, and also the cooked food and the non-veg items, of course from the slaughterhouses and from the cooking. Whatever it is getting generated, we call it as wet waste, and these are all biodegradable waste. The second type of waste what we generate is dry waste, which includes plastics, bags, bottles, toys, and then milk sachets, the plastic envelopes, the papers, the aluminum, metal, glass, all those things which we call it as dry waste. And of course, now we are generating, because of this pandemic, a lot of sanitary waste also, which includes the diapers, the sanitary napkins, the mask, then the PPE kits, and all those COVID accessories also. So whenever we have to solve the problem, means we should know what are all the type of waste and how it can be handled. Basically, in most of the cities, I should say, the people are mixing the waste and then putting it in one single bin. That is what is happening. Why we should segregate the waste? Once the dry waste and wet waste is mixed, it creates a lot of poisonous gases and lot of pollution. This segregating waste will help us to recycle them properly. For example, the dry waste such as glass and paper can be converted into a new products. Once you segregate the waste at source means where it is getting generated, it promotes health and sanitation, it reduces pest infestation, it protects us from all the biohazards, it improves the community health, and it creates wealth. This is the most important thing. It creates wealth. When the waste is segregated, it creates wealth, and it also enables more material recovery. Generally, food waste in the landfill creates methane, which is harmful than 25 times, and it is stronger than carbon dioxide. That is the reason why a lot of global warming is happening and climatic changes are also happening. What is the solution? The major waste that is getting generated, if you see, it is almost 65% to 75% is the biodegradable waste or wet waste. This entire biodegradable waste, we can get converted into a treasure, into compost. We call it as black gold. This is going to be the next invention of thing. This has been happening for almost 20, 30 years, but we have not been following it for past 20, 30 years because of our cultural practices and all those things. Now, when we are able to convert this entire wet waste into compost, there are a host of benefits that will be coming. Is wet waste a problem? Generally, when people say wet waste is definitely a problem. Whatever the waste that is getting generated from our house, we cannot keep it inside the house for more than 1 or 2 days. It stinks very badly. So it has to be immediately disposed. Maybe it can hold around 2 days or 3 days maximum. More than that, you cannot keep the wet waste inside the house. But if this wet waste is entirely converted into a compost, this compost can be used to develop this kind of beautiful gardens, even in a balcony. This is a 50 square feet balcony where our customer, Ms. Deepthi, grows all type of vegetables. And especially she started this particular concept only during the pandemic time, where she had lot of time to spend. And because of having the compost in her house, by using our My Green bin, she used the compost and converted it into a very good food produce, wherein her family was entirely supported with this particular concept. So wet waste is not at all a problem. When the wet waste is getting converted into compost, what are all the benefits we should know? See, the composting enriches the soil with the nutrients, and it reduces the use of the fertilizers and the pesticides. The compost increases the ability to retain moisture. It means that the water required for a soil when the compost is used is only 50%. And it also suppresses the plant diseases and the pests. It also helps to sequester the carbon. Studies have shown that plants are growing very rapidly when we are using the compost. So by the way, now people are also started thinking about the organic food. So once we have to go for an organic food, we need organic fertilizer. If we are continuously using the pesticides, which we have been following it for past 40 years, our entire soil condition will get depleted and it will be going away of microbes. That has been happening in most of the cities. So once we start using this particular compost, by converting the entire wet waste into a very good organic compost, we can revive the entire organic farming, and thereby we will be able to get a very good healthy produce. So let us join hands for a clean and a green India. And of course, you would have heard about the Swachh Bharat 2016, and the government is taking a lot of efforts in name of such surveillance, and they have provided a lot of incentives, subsidies, and lot of ideas to make the city clean in scientifically managing the how to manage the waste and helping the people to make the community clean. So the motto of keep city clean is the principal motto of which our company was formed. What are all the solutions we offer? Basically, we have several verticals. The basic vertical is the home composters. Here, this home composter we offer as a bins. I will explain to you in detail how these bins function and how these bins will convert our wet waste into a rich compost. We have different capacities, right from the half a liter capacity, half a kg, that is 1 liter per day. That is the standard a Indian family will generate. A family of 4 people generally generates around half a kg of waste. So this is the basic bin which we recommend for the people to start. Then we have the bigger varieties also, up to the villas also. Then we have the community composters, wherein The apartments like thing where 10 apartments, 20 apartments, 50 apartments, 100 apartments, up to 1,500 apartments also, they will be able to use these type of solutions, these community composters, and convert their entire wet waste into organic compost in their premises itself. And this we call it as a bulk composters, where about 250 liters, that is 125 kg, up to 1 ton, up to 1.5 ton per day can be handled in these type of bins. They are very ideal for municipalities, hotels, bigger schools and colleges where canteen facility is there, hospitals and hostels, and wherever the food manufacturing is happening, they are using this type of bulk composters. How this composting happens? Generally for composting, we need three type of things. One is the environment for the waste to get decomposed and converted into compost. One. Second thing is the aeration, that is the oxygen. That is why we call this as an aerobic composting. And third thing is the microbe. Microbe will be basically the fungus and the bacteria. These three things, when it acts upon the compost, the waste which we generate, it will get converted into compost. Here in this bin, we have created an environment which facilitates a very, very fast composting activity. And it cuts off all the smell. The microbes which we use is a patented product, is developed by our research wing, and it cuts off whatever the smell that might generate from the particular waste. And it is done with FRP. The entire bin is done with FRP, and it can be kept in any place. You need not have a shed or anything like that. It can be even kept in the open space, and it has an excellent protection from the sun and the rain. How do we do this particular thing? I just want to explain before going into the business model. Basically, for home composting, we give two set of bins. One bin, generally it is used for filling up the waste, and another bin is used for converting it into compost. Basically, whatever it is getting generated, we segregate the waste. Basically, the vegetable peels, the flowers, grains, the fruit waste, and the food waste. Everything has to be in small pieces only. You cannot put a bigger piece inside this bin. For example, a watermelon, you cannot put the entire watermelon inside. A corn, you cannot put it inside. Everything has to be cut into 3-inch pieces and then deposited inside this. Then we give our migraine microbes, which has to be sprinkled above this. That's all we have to do. Instead of depositing the waste outside in a garbage bin or giving it to the service provider, you need to segregate and deposit it inside this, and then add the green rich microbes. You should not add any liquid item inside this composter. Okay. The next day, again, you repeat the same process. So this goes on like a sandwiching process. One layer of microbe, one layer of waste. I again covered it with the one layer of microbe. Generally, it takes around 25 to 35 days for the bin to get filled up. Once it gets filled up, we have to go for the second bin. By the time, and repeat the same process. By the time the second bin is filled in 25 to 30 days, the first bin would have got converted into beautiful manure. And the most advantageous thing in this particular thing is we have given a tap here. The bin is designed in such a way that there are two chambers, one a bottom chamber and another is a top chamber. The top chamber holds the solid manure and the bottom chamber holds the liquid manure. These are all the byproducts which we get from the thing. And these particular byproducts only enthuse the customers, basically like Deepthi, to go into organic growth, organic plantation in their house. And this particular manure, when it is generated from the waste, it is 100% organic and it has a very great demand among the farmers. What are all the benefits of migraine bin? It produces compost, which will replace the petrochemical fertilizer. It reduces global warming. It controls the soil erosion. It increases the natural organic manure production. It multiplies the microorganism. Then it reduces the air and the water pollution. A longer productivity is assured. Natural recycling is happening, and strong and healthier root for the plants is being created because of this compost. We have additional products also. Rather than the food waste, in some places you could have seen large amount of garden waste and leaves that are getting generated, and people, they don't know what to do, and then they burn it up, creating pollution in the neighborhood. We have a solution for the garden composter also. Once you deposit the garden composter, the leaves inside this garden composter, the entire thing will get converted into a very good compost, and it can be used for their own landscape. And we have additional products like leaf and branch composting. These are all specialized microbes. For food waste composting, we have a separate microbe. For slaughterhouse and poultry waste, we have a separate microbe. And for maggots and odor control also, we have separate microbe if it is required. Generally, in smaller homes and smaller apartments, people cut the waste and then give. If it is a bulk, people will not be able to cut the waste. So we provide them an option with the shredder capacity. We have shredder capacity right from 2 HP up to 15 HP, depending upon the quantity of the waste that is getting generated in a particular place. This shredder is also will be complemented with the migraine bin. First, we have to deposit our waste inside the shredder. It will turn into small pieces like 3-inch, 4-inch. Then we have to take it out and then deposit it inside the migraine bin. And I have been talking about initially when you have noticed about the hazardous waste, which we are generating in a huge quantity recently because of this particular pandemic situation. And people are not aware that when this has to be segregated separately and it has to be disposed in a very, very safe environment because it is very, very contagious. For that, we have developed a model of incinerators where these incinerators will be kept at a place. For example, if there is an office where around 100 people are working, then they will be generating some masks. If the ladies are there, they will be generating some sanitary napkins. And all those things can be destroyed, can be incinerated inside their premises itself in a very, very safe manner. And these are all bigger capacities like GRI 100, GRI 3000, 6000 and 12,000, which is very much useful for bigger apartments, bigger commercial complexes, and also in the municipalities and small villages where they are unable to handle this particular type of the hazardous waste. Okay, about Greenridge. Greenridge was formed it was formulated in 2010 and it was converted into a private limited company in 2016. And we have assessed vendors of GEMI portal, CREDAI and CIA. That is one of the major things. Our products are certified by Confederation of Indian Industry and IGPC as Green Pro, as green product. And our major USP, I should say, is the fungal inoculum, which are important as the decomposters and retains the nutrients and the moisture of the soil. We are also offering wide range of projects scattered to different verticals. Our capabilities are exceptional management team, strong R&D team, and our very high manufacturing capacity. And our manufacturing capabilities, our capacities are there in Chennai. All the facilities are in Chennai. These are all our certifications. This was the Green Pro certification, which and all the compliances which is required for the waste management has been acquired by us. These are all our few of the clients. We have been present in almost 15 cities all over the country, and these are all a few clients. When you see the client list, you can see basically the hospitals, the societies, the apartments, the defense establishments, then whatever the promoters are there, the individual houses, the corporates, all those people, wherever the food waste is getting generated, they adapt our particular concept and they form a green, they become a part of this green movement and convert their entire wet waste into compost and use it for the landscape. These are few of our installations. We work closely with most of the municipalities. Here we also organize awareness campaign to promote this particular concept. And these are all a few installations of our bulk composters. This is one pilot project in Indore. The entire collector office in Indore was provided by our waste management solution. And Sayadri Guest House in Mumbai was also provided with the entire waste management solution office. And of course, we have installed in Indian Navy, MEG also, and many, many places. Now, let me take you through the business model. Why Greenridge brand? Basically, Greenridge is a very established brand, and especially our migraine bin, and we are empaneled in most of the municipalities: Greater Chennai Corporation, Navi Mumbai Municipal Corporation, Bombay Municipal Corporation, Indore, Gurgaon, Delhi, Noida, Vellore, Visakhapatnam, Hyderabad, Kovai, Salem, Trichy, and other municipalities also. And our capacity is we offer wide range of solutions. We offer solutions for half a kg per day, up to 1.5 tons per day. So we will be able to cover and service all the verticals. And we have a patented product. My Green Bin is a patented product, and we have developed the green rich microbes, which is cultured in our laboratories, which has almost 13 to 14 strains of bacteria and fungal. Generally, whenever a microbe is manufactured, it contains only few strains. So because of that, there will be restriction for some of the composters, for some of our competitors, they will say you should not put the food waste, you should not put the non-veg waste. But here we have come out with a combination of almost 13 to 14 bacterial and fungal strains, where because of that, all the wet waste, entire type of wet waste can go inside our My Green Bin. What are all the franchisee opportunities? This is a very large addressable market. We can cater right from individuals, housing societies, hotels, hospitals, temples, malls and offices, government offices, corporate offices, defense establishment, government quarters, municipalities and markets, and of course, factories and industrial houses. Especially now, the concept has developed in temples. In Chennai, lot of temples we have been supplying, where they don't want to throw this particular garlands or the flowers that is getting generated in the temple into the garbage, and they convert it into compost and then give it to the disciples itself. What the franchisee partner has to do, the role of the franchisee. The franchisee partner basically has to set up a display center. He has to reach to the potential customer. They have to provide and create the awareness among their neighborhood. Whichever designated area they have taken, they need to spread the awareness about the segregation and the composting. Then they have to do the local area of marketing. The local area of marketing, of course, we will be assisting them in how they can do that local area marketing, and organize all type of seminars and workshops. These seminars and workshops can be done in social organization like Rotary, Lions Club, or network organization like BNI and other network organization, wherein we will be able to take this entire concept of composting to different people. Even we are doing lectures in colleges. We are doing some lectures for also school. Today also, our team did a presentation for DAV public school in Delhi. And then they have to have an adequate staff deployment. They need to hold the inventory so that it can be immediately supplied to the customers. And the basic local digital marketing they have to do to create a local awareness. And what are all the value proposition which a franchisee will be able to get? He will be able to provide a very good customer satisfaction. Once the customer is satisfied, we also get satisfied in our business. They help in easy disposal of the waste and converting the waste as a resource. They form a channel, in between channel, to create a circular economy. And they help to create wealth and promote organic farming. And in fact, they also help the municipalities to provide efficient sanitation and health in their entire community where they are catering. What we do, we provide and support the entire pre-opening setup and training to the franchisee and his team. Basically, the entire technical feasibility, the technical supports, the collaterals, everything will be provided by our team. Then we provide necessary assistance and support to set up the business centers or green rich growth centers. Then we train the managers and the staff to achieve the business targets, and provide strategy as per the needs. Because you see, the business target will vary depending upon the place, and the strategy also will vary depending upon the place. Our strong presence in this particular field for past 10 years, we have a lot of data, and which will help us to provide an adequate strategy for any franchisee for them to develop the business in that particular area. We also provide qualified staff to support during the initial time of business. And of course, we provide marketing support and align senior executives for business closure for bigger projects also. And most importantly, we do liaison with all the local municipalities and the corporates and generate leads in the designated areas also. So franchisee also has to generate leads, and we also will generate leads and help them to grow their business. And of course, digital marketing, we take care of our brand as an all India basis, and we provide all the necessary collaterals and work closely as per the local needs of the franchisee. Now coming to the financials, this is the most important part. Yeah. Basically, we charge a finance fee of around 2 lakhs, and for the inventory, they have to invest around 5 lakhs. For office and warehouse and Greenwich Core Center, it depends upon place to place. It may vary from basic will vary from 3 to 4 lakhs. And if the potential is good, even up to 5-6 lakhs can also be invested in this particular office and the warehouse facility. So the total minimum investment for a franchisee starts from 10 lakhs and it goes up to 15 lakhs. What are all the different segments? I have told about almost 11 verticals, but here in the financials, we have taken only 3 verticals for the calculation purpose. Let us go on a very, very conservative basis. For example, any locality if you take, for example, in Thane, if you take one area, if you take, there will be lakhs and lakhs of people who will be living there. So if you are able to sell at least 150 bins per month, just target 150 bins per month. So one quarter you can target around 450 bins. So the revenue from the sale of the composting bin is around approximately 10 lakhs. Then the revenue from the microbes. This is a recurring sale that happens to the franchisee. Whenever the bin is sold, every month on month they have to buy the microbes. The customer has to buy those microbes to maintain that particular bin. So this will be a recurring sale of the microbes for the franchisee. Then when they are able to sell at least 2 composting bins per month, maybe for a societies. Here also, for the calculation purpose, we have taken only the mid segment. The mid segment meaning we have capacities right from 250 liters up to 1000 liters. Here for calculation purpose, we have taken only for the 600 liter bin, that's the mid segment bin. If the franchisee is able to sell 2 bins per month, then the revenue from there is almost around 5 lakhs. Then the microbe sale community, then again from the microbe sale, it is around 20,000 rupees. And one bulk composting per quarter, only one bulk composting, that is a 5,000 liter. If they are able to sell, their entire revenue for 3 months is around 22 lakhs. The direct expenditure, that is for inventory, it will go around 15 lakhs. So the gross profit will be around 7.34 lakhs. Then the indirect expenditures like the rent 30,000 rupees to 40,000 rupees per month. Then the salary for the staff. Then the marketing expenses 25,000 rupees per month. Then other indirect expenses we have taken it as 30,000. So total indirect expenditure is around 3,15,000, and the net profit what we have shown is around they will be getting is around 4.19 lakhs. Of course, any franchisee for there will be an initial 1 or 2 months they may be slow, but most of our franchisee where we have around 15 franchisees all over country, and they have developed it in a very fast pace because of this particular concept, and also with the support of the local municipalities and the corporate activity, they are able to generate business in a very fast manner. So we assume a 10% growth of business in every quarter. The revenue in first year itself is 16.94 lakh. For an investment of 10 lakhs to 12 lakhs to 15 lakhs, their revenue of 16.94 lakhs is a very good revenue, and this can also be scalable. This we have taken it in a very, very conservative manner, a very minimal sale of 150 home composters per month, 2 communities per month, and then 1 bulk composter per month. Out of other verticals, the incinerator, all those things will be the additional thing. The garden composter will be additional, the incinerators will be additional. These additional things will be added thing. So any franchisee will be able to make break even in 3 to 6 months comfortably, and they will be able to generate huge revenues as the time goes by. Who are all the ideal green partners which we are looking for? We are looking for persons who are passionate in promoting green concepts. We are also looking for persons who are already in customer-centric business, like wastewater management, facility managers, housekeeping, municipality contractors, fire safety, those who have organic farms, or they do organic produce, or they market organic produce, and landscape and allied businesses. Of course, we are also looking for persons with a good experience and knowledge in waste management field. For them also we can give a preference. And passionate persons who wants to diversify. Of course, they should have a good operational skill. They want to diversify and do something for this environment and something for this country. Those kind of persons also we are looking. We want to have it as an ideal green partners. And in our rollout plan, initially now we want to roll out in all these 4 states in Maharashtra. In Mumbai, main Mumbai, we need to have at least, we can have at least 4 partners in Navi Mumbai, Thane, Kalyan Dombivli, Vasai Vihar, Panvel, Mira Bhayandar, Nagpur, Pune, Nashik, Nagpur, Ahmedabad, and any other major cities where there is potential. And in Gujarat also, we want to expand to Ahmedabad, Surat, Gandhinagar, Rajkot, Vadodara, and others. In Delhi NCR also, we want to expand to Noida, Delhi, Gurgaon, Ghaziabad, Faridabad, and others. And we want to establish our operations also in Kolkata. Okay, whenever you see a business opportunity, the present model should be profitable, and how it is going to go in future. As we know, waste management is going to be the in thing in the next 5 years or 10 years, we should say. So we have been investing a very huge amount of our money in the R&D facilities. Now what we are talking is about my green bin and the nature made incinerator and green rich microbes. We are also going to come into bioenergy. We are also going to come into green boat, which are semi-automatic machines. Then of course green belly, where we are going to provide biogas solutions. Rotogrant for the bigger municipalities. Then green rich organica for manure. We are going to brand it as the compost in the name of green rich organica, and green rich biorakshak, that is the liquid manure. So the future is very, very bright. So whenever a green partner is getting associated, he can add on his verticals additionally with our forthcoming products. This is the recent collaboration which we are going to do with the CSR ICT for the anaerobic AGR technology, we call it. This is the basic biogas plant, one plant we have already done. Before launching it to the green partners, we want to execute few more projects in Chennai and Mumbai, and then we will come into the market. And this is what I told, the green rich organica and the green rich biorakshak. These two products, which already we are doing it in Chennai, it has a very huge demand, and slowly we want to expand it to other parts of the country also. I think I have taken through the entire thing of the waste management. Now it is open to the question and answer sessions.
Okay, thank you so much for this presentation, Sarvanaji, and very beautifully explained is what I would say. And if you look at the current state of waste management, and this is becoming growingly very, very important, and there's a consciousness and awareness with respect to sustainability across the globe. And what My Green Bin is doing is they're trying to bring a solution to a problem. The company is promoting sustainable circular economy, which helps in creating a very strong environment, human well-being by retaining the value, where the solution they have brought is the converting the wet waste into compost. And just to recap quickly the business model, friends, the target audience the company is looking at is institutes, hotels, hospitals, residential societies, communities, corporates, and also individual households. And this is a very innovative product which can be used and very flexible, which can be used as small as a 3-member household and as big as maybe a society and a bigger institute. And the current focus is 2 big states, which includes Maharashtra and Gujarat, and 2 cities, I would say, which includes Delhi as well as the NCR, which is a combination of 5 big cities and Kolkata. And what a franchisee is required to do is open a display center, and where the entire investment would be close to about 10 odd lakhs. And this investment would include the inventory cost of 5 lakhs, 2 lakhs towards the franchise fees, and an investment of about 4 lakhs towards the warehouse and the office. And as we heard, the prospective partner can be from a complementing business, because you have a ready ecosystem which you can reach out to. But even somebody who's new in the business can come forth and be open to discuss the opportunity. So Sarvanaji, I'll start taking up some questions. I see some of these questions already which I'm seeing in the audience also coming in.
Yeah.
And I was making a note while you were taking us through the presentation. Now, to start off with, we talk about 10 lakhs as the initial investment that goes in. I would like you, if you can also explain a little bit on the breakup of this investment. By broadly, we understand the investment on the equipment. So what kind of inventory is a prospective partner required to keep at the display center? Because you've talked about different sizes, which is individual, household, and also, for corporates is a different equipment which is required. So when we talk about inventory of 4 odd lakhs, typically what all does that include as a display? And also the 4 lakh office and warehouse cost that we talked about, what is that cost towards? Is it towards the interior, or this also includes some part of the inventory? Over to you, sir.
See, basically, for the inventory, we have a lot of options that is available. Basically, the smaller segments alone, if they hold it, that is enough. For example, some amount of home composters, the 120 liters and the 50 liters capacities. Because these things, if it has to be shipped from Chennai, the transportation cost will be high. So it is always better to take it in one truckload or something like that. And to develop the business, to show to the prospective customers, they need 2 or 3 community composters also. Maybe one set of 600 liters and one set of 800 liters. All the other bulk digesters, everything, they can get the order, place the order, and then get it. That's not, they need not invest on this particular thing. And of course, they have to invest on the microbes, because microbes will be going on regularly, on a regular basis. On online sales will be happening. So at that time, they should have a very good inventory of the microbes and the home composter. These two are the very fast moving items. And of course, the mid segment market of the community composters also. For example, a bulk digester, he can wait for 15-20 days also. He will not mind. But a small person, small composter, the ones who wants to buy it, he would like to get it delivered in 2-3 days. So it is necessary to get this inventory only. And the 4 lakhs, what I want is only for the office and the display center. Display center interiors is a very, very basic interior. Just they can enough to have a display wall. 110 feet by 110 feet wall is enough for it to promote the waste management concepts. That is the basic display they would require. And they need space to store these particular warehouses and whatever the materials that is required. The rental advance, all those things will be included. And it varies depending upon the place to place. This is the basic investment what we have showed. Other than that, whatever the verticals they are going to do, they will be able to get the order. This alone, this inventory alone, they need to keep it in stock. All other things, the bulk digesters, the incinerator, bigger ones, they can place the order, then execute the job accordingly. That will be a better option.
So what we are saying is this 4 lakh is typically including all your deposit. And ideally, if I look at the investment, this is typically the inventory of 5 lakhs and 2 lakhs franchise fee, 7 lakhs. And you
Yeah.
don't need very expensive setup. And in many cases, maybe this cost can be substantially down, maybe a lakh and a half, depending on the location you are in. And what kind of investment do we do on the 10 feet, wall? What kind of display investment is required for that wall? Is there
The
a
basic, tell me. Basically, the display wall will be showing up the different concepts of the solutions. It will be in a flex mode. Then we will be displaying the home composters. Then we will be displaying the different type of microbes which we have and the advantages of the microbe. And we will be displaying the manure and the compost and the liquid manure. And maybe 1 or 2 bigger bins to show the concept. That's all. That is enough. You don't need a much lavish expenditure and then a basic lighting, a very good wall color, which we will suggest, and then that's enough for that. Not much expenses we need to
how
do.
big is the area typically one would need, and what should be the ideal location for a partner to put the
So
warehouse in?
basically, it can be worked in 2 types. They can, if the rental value is less, maybe in smaller cities it might be less. If the rental value is less, they can have both the warehouse, office, and the grow center in one particular place. If in places like Bombay, maybe the rental will be high, so they can have a small office and Greenwich Grow Center, maybe 100 or 150 square feet, wherein there will be walk-in customer, and they can have a separate warehouse, maybe a faraway place where the rental is less. So this type of arrangements, they can work it out depending upon the cities. And the warehouse capacity, it can vary from 500, 700 to 1000 square feet, depending upon their marketing capability. That space should be enough. And the office and the Greenwich Grow Center, it can be 100 to 150 square feet is enough, basically. This is the basic setup which they will be requiring it.
My other question would be, so this is very simple, as far as the initial investment is concerned. I would like to take some questions on the operating expenses. Overall, what you're projecting is, one should be able to reach a revenue of about 22.7 odd lakhs, and of which, the expense would be about 15.4 odd lakhs, which is your direct expense. And I would call the direct expense as the cost of the goods. I would say the inventory that he keeps or the microbes that he keeps. So this is almost 50% that we have taken into consideration, and the balance is the rental, salary, etc. So the bottom margins which are left is about 20% after taking out all the expenses, including the cost of good and the salaries. Now, my question would be on the cost of these goods. Since we have two, I would say, kind of inventories
One is the equipment that we're using, the bins that we're using. The other is microbes. If we can understand typically what are the margin that one would have between these two. And my second question would be on the average cost for these bins. Typically, what is the cost? While you have different sizes, but typically, what is the range for these, and what is the cost of these microbes one has to buy, and what margin would a franchise partner have across these categories?
Basically, for microbes, we provide a margin of around 20%. And for the bins, it varies from 20% to 30%. For the community bin, it will be around, on the home composters, it will be around 30%. And then for the institutional bin also, it will be 30%. For bulk digester, it will be around 20%. And of course, we will be providing additional turnover margins as per the sales. That will be the additional offer which we offer. And then
Okay.
the basic cost of the bin, if you say, the basic home composter which we are offering, the half a kg bin, that is 2,500 we have priced it. And we are passing on to the dealers at a price of around 1,500 to 1,800 depending upon the quantity of the intake which they are taking it. And a family, if they have to invest on this particular composting, for the bin, they have to invest around 2,500, and of course, it contains 1 month of microbe also. And the recurring expenses will be microbes, which will be approximately 75 rupees per month. This is the basic expenditure which any family has to do. For example, if you take a society of around 1,000 families, for example, for a calculation purpose, you take each family, as for a capital cost, they have to spend around 2,000 rupees for the entire waste management solution, for the wet waste management. Then for the microbes, they may have to spend at least for 50 to 60 rupees per month. And this 50 to 60 rupees also, they will be getting it back when they are selling the manure. If they are able to sell the manure that is generated from the bin, they will be able to at least recover 50%, and in some places they even recover 75%, depending upon their marketing capability and that particular area. Because two types of manures are getting generated. One is the solid manure and the liquid manure. When you go into Amazon or Flipkart, you can see the rate of the organic manure. It ranges from 20 rupees per kg up to 100 rupees per kg. A home composter, if you use also the smaller bin, it generates around 4 to 5 kgs of manure. Even if you take a very conservative figure of 20 rupees, they recover around 100 rupees per month. Then the liquid manure, they generate at least 1 liter. This 1 liter of bio booster, they will be able to sell at least at a rate of around 40 to 50 rupees. So they recover easily around 150 rupees. So the recovery cost also, the return of investment is also there for the bulk digesters, the bulk composters. And of course, the disposal of waste, the cost which they are going to spend for the disposal of waste, that also we have to take into account. These are all the benefits we projected to the customers when they buy this particular concepts. Once we clearly show the picture of this particular advantages, they go for this solution. And the entire product is done in FRP, and it will easily come, we say up to 10 years, it will even come up to 15 years also, because it is only FRP. Just one small maintenance is enough, because there are no moving parts in this particular thing, except the door. There are no moving parts. So only the moving parts, only they need the maintenance. Otherwise, all are rigid parts. There is absolutely no need of maintenance also. These are all the USP that the customer gets when they use our particular system.
Okay. And I will also now, pick up some questions. I think one I already covered on the cost. And the other question which I'm seeing, I have a question from Mr. Pankaj Kumar, and I saw that coming from one of our other viewers also. It's on the subsidy. Is there any kind of subsidy which is received from the government for projects like these?
No, at present till now they have not given any subsidies. Only for biogas plants they are given a subsidy. For composting, they have not yet announced any subsidy till now.
Okay. And a couple of more questions, which are there in my mind, and I'm also seeing that coming from our audience. What would typically be the life of these composters? How long they can run? And you also said there's not too much of maintenance cost which is needed. So even if there is some maintenance, typically, what is the kind of maintenance that would need, and is that maintenance is also taken care by the franchise partner? So once the life, how long these can operate? And second, my question was on the maintenance of these bins composters?
Yeah, the smaller composter, the basic model, that is we have developed in a PP. That's a virgin plastic we have developed. The life of that particular basic model, the home composter, which we are going to sell it for 2,500, will be between 2 to 3 years if it is maintained properly, not exposed to sun. Okay. All the other products are done in FRP and they have a life varying from 10 to 15 years. And maintenance part, there are no moving parts inside this particular bin. So only the moving part is the door. So the maintenance they may require is only fixing up of the hinges and the fixing up of the nails, the screws. That's the only maintenance. And maybe the tap might go off because of a rough usage. Only these things only go off. And these are all easily replaceable by the local plumber or the local carpenter also. Of course, 1 year maintenance, free maintenance we are providing. The company is going to provide the 1 year maintenance also. After that, it will be on call basis. And that is not going to cost much also for them. Only in the bulk digester, we have developed a blower. That blower, if there is any voltage fluctuation, it might go up because of the electrical appliances. We cannot give much guarantee. And for that alone, there will be some maintenance will be required in the bulk digester alone. Otherwise, there is no maintenance is required for this.
Sure. And I also had a question on, because we did talk about a lot of your installations have been done in locations, and that's a process. Typically, if we talk about municipalities and government institutions, there might be tender process which might be involved. And you also mentioned that when a franchise partner would take the franchisee, he would also get some initial support from you in terms of marketing and lead generation. So would you want to comment on typically, specifically, I would say on, if there's a tender process and is there some assistance which company offers for a franchisee for the same?
Yes, definitely. When the franchisee wants to participate in a particular tender, definitely we will be assisting them in the technical bit and also in the financial bit. And initially itself, we will be assisting them in formulating the tender bid also. In most of the places, we have helped them because we also undertake the consultancy. For example, one franchisee, they take up the particular municipality. For that municipality, we will be able to provide that entire waste environmental solution, waste management solution, and then the franchisee can execute that part, whatever the products or the solutions that is required also. This type of model also we are doing it. We will be assisting them fully. Even if it is a corporate enlistment also, they will be able to help them in doing this. That should not be a problem.
So, and the other, because we are offering this in the 4 cities and 2 states and 2 big cities, including NCR, we talked about how are we segregating the area? If we give somebody in, because you even in Bombay, you said these are locations you want to get in. So how these locations are segregated? We are giving one entire geography to one partner. Is there a radius that we are giving to him, kilometers? So what would be the exclusivity that we're giving to a partner, and how long will our term of our arrangement would be with these partners?
Basically, we are looking for an area of around 5 to 6 square kilometers will be ideal for a partner to serve it, because otherwise they will not be able to concentrate on the particular thing. It has to be a micro level business opportunity, because the entire community needs this particular solution. So when they are able to work in a smaller neighborhoods, it is easy for them to develop this particular business opportunity. That is why we wanted to break up Mumbai into four regions or 3 regions, maybe central, south, and north, or something like that. And then the other facility like Navi Mumbai, Thane, everything has to be independent. Because here the traveling is a very big issue. Even in Delhi also the traveling is a very big issue. They will not be able to cover the presentation part or the customer interaction part from one place to another. So that is why we are breaking it up into smaller regions. And it can be a core concentrated part, because there will be zones. For example, in Mumbai, there might be around 15 or 20 zones, depending upon the corporation. Maybe 5 zones, we can combine it and then be given it as a region. So they have to license with the local government officers. Then they have to participate in all the tenders, whatever it is. Everything is possible. And there are a lot of societies are there, hotels are there, then hospitals are there, then colleges and institutions are there, individual homes are there. They need to promote it to their hostels, they need to promote it to the schools, they need to promote to the colleges. So this itself will take a lot of time. That is why we have restricted the area to 5 to 6 kilometers.
Right. And also once you reach out to the area, so one revenue stream would be obviously the sale of the bins, composters, and the other revenue stream, wherever we have made this sale, these societies, communities, hospitals will keep buying the microbes, which is a recurring, I would say, revenue for a prospective partner, because as long as they have that, they would need that to be used every month. And there's some predictability in the model which can be built up when you have certain number of these bins and composters already. Maybe I would say in the first 6 months, if you have most of the city and your target audience captured, then this recurring incomes become an additional source of revenue for you in the coming
Yes, yes.
months. And I will take one question. I have it from our partner in Hyderabad, Enquiry. Also, is liquid or solid manure from the households?
What's the question?
I think what he's asking is, maybe I can ask him to maybe put that again. He's asking, can we? I think he's asking if a prospective franchisee can also purchase a liquid or a solid manure from the households, whatever they are producing, because they might
Yes,
not be
yes,
used.
yes. Yes, we are giving this buyback option to the customers who are asking. Definitely, we are buying back the manure on the liquid manure. The rate will vary from 3 to 5 rupees per kg for the solid manure. And then for the liquid manure, it varies from 8 rupees to 10 rupees per liter. What we do, we provide them the technology, or we take up the entire thing and then we process it and then we bring it out as a brand. That's what we call it as Greenrich Organica and Greenrich Biorakshan. These brands, we can get it from the customers and then we can resell it again. That will also be an additional revenue for the franchisee, definitely.
Right. I think that was something. And maybe last question, while we don't do that, I have a question from Aniruddha Kulkarni, because I understand a lot of people don't come from this background and might not understand the technical, aspect of it. So the question which is there is, can we use the liquid coming from the bin as a microbes?
Yes, definitely. Both the manure, the solid manure and the liquid manure will have microbes. And because of this microbes only, it induces the growth in the plant. It increases the microbial load in the soil. It controls the pest. And these are all beneficial microbes. There are no pathogens that are involved. Because inside the bin, a temperature of between 55 degrees to 65 degrees is getting generated automatically without any electric heater or anything like that. Because of this microbial process, now all the pathogens will get destroyed. Only the beneficial bacteria or the beneficial microbes will be there in the bin, and because of that only we call this as an organic manure.
Correct. And one last question, because we're talking about inventory which needs to be kept, and this inventory is a display inventory, or this inventory can also be sold. And what would happen in case is an inventory, with a partner, and that is a slow moving product, I would say, is that replaced by a fast moving inventory?
Yes, yes, yes. If there is any lag in the inventory, one particular variety they are storing it, then definitely we can replace it. That's not a problem, because in one area it might not go, but in other area it might go. So we can ship it from one dealer to another area. That is always possible, because markets behave differently in different states. So definitely that is possible. They need not hold the inventory. If it is unmovable for almost 6 months or anything like that, we will take it back and then we will replace it with other inventories. That can always be worked out, and that we are also doing now with the dealers also.
Right. And I've asked maybe initial start, but I like to ask, because we and this waste management overall is becoming very, very competitive. Also, we have a lot of regional local players. Which is your closest competition in the markets that we're talking about? And is there any advantage that we have over the others which are currently in the market? If that edge can also be described or discussed to our potential partners?
Yes, definitely. We have very good edge on there. Of course, there is a competition. There are a lot of players, new players that have come into this waste management field, and the difference between them and us is they don't have the tailor-made varied solutions. They cater only to a particular segment. For example, one particular company caters only to the home composter. Nobody has bulk composters. Community composters also very few people have. They have only up to 250 liters or 400 liters capacity bins only. Above that, they don't have. Some people, they have only the electrical thing. So they have different segments we have. We are the only company which offers the segment right from the smaller bins up to the bigger bins, so that it will be easily catered. And of course, we are offering the incinerators also, which is a very safe disposal for that. That is an additional income which is going to get generated, because incinerator is going to be the need of all the societies and all the offices. Definitely people are going to go, because this pandemic situation might continue still longer also. Even if it is not continuing, people are getting used to this, wearing this mask and the gloves, and they have to dispose it safely. That is another vertical. And as far as the microbe is concerned, our microbe is the most advantageous. The reason is, most of the other microbes, they use only 3 or 4 strains of bacteria. When they are using bacteria, they need to churn the bin manually. Once you churn the bin, the smell will come. That is the reason why most of the concepts are not been successful at all. Here we are using the fungal inoculum, where they have to just spread it, sprinkle it, that's all. You need not churn anything. This is one major advantage because of our microbe. And only our microbe generate a very good liquid manure. Most of the bins, they don't have provision to collect the liquid manure. They leave it in the waste or something like that. So these are all the advantages which we have on our technology, on the waste management technology.
Great, very, very informative, Sarvanaji. And friends, I will request, and some names I cannot read because I see as your phone numbers. I will request all of you are interested, kindly reach on the hotline number, and we'll be pleased to extend maybe a Discovery Day discussion where Mr. Sarvana Raj would come and discuss the opportunity one-to-one with any potential partners. And the date, I will request Ashna if we can even put the date and inform our participants what date are we keeping that Discovery Day. So this is 30th of the month, friends. This is, I think, Friday. This is Friday the 30th, which is the next week of the month, where you can reach out to us and we'll start blocking your time to understand the format, concept, and also understand the value proposition that we have for each potential partner in your city. And before we close, Sarvanaji, I will also request if you can share with us maybe a last message for the audience as a closing remark. And Ranit Mandalji will share the contact details. We've already put our contact details in the hotline, which is the hotline number in the chat box. Kindly take a note of that. And we also have our teams at Franchise India, which will call up all the audience which is present and fix up your call with Mr. Sarvana Raj in the coming week. Over to you, sir.
Yeah, thank you, Sonia. Thank you. Basically, whenever we do business, it has to give some personal satisfaction. And this business definitely will bring lot of testimonies in our neighborhood. And that is the reason we have been growing in leaps and bounds from the past. Basically, I'm an architect by profession. That is the another vertical which we are doing it. Basically, in architecture, if you see, we disturb the environment. When in an open space, we build the building, we create an artificial environment inside that. But whereas in this My Green Bin, we are getting connected back to the nature. So we are giving it back to the nature. So whatever food we are eating, we are converting it into the compost and then giving it back to the mother earth. That is where the entire social ecosystem is being established. And this is the main USP which I felt. And we also promote it in a very great manner. And that also drives us in a huge scale, in a great manner. Thank you, Sonia, for the opportunity. And I would like to join with a lot of partners and let us have a clean India and a green India.
Absolutely. And we echo the same sentiments. I'd like to thank you for being with us for the last 1 hour of our presentation, and also all the audience listening, both live and also present on the webinar today. And friends, we'll reach out to all of you and we'll satisfy you with respect to every question that you have on the business. And I will now request Ashna to kindly take over for the closing remarks. Over to you, Ashna.
So thank you so much, Mr. Raj, for joining in today and talking up. Thank you so much, sir. And thank you so much for all the efforts we have put in during the dry run for the presentation of this particular webinar. We would like to thank Sonia ma'am also for taking all the queries from our investors. Dear friends, thank you so much for sparing time joining us today, registration for this particular webinar. We try to answer many of your queries, but still we will touch base with you. Our regional team will definitely touch base with you. You can also connect with us at our business hotline number, which we have shared in chat box also. It's there on your screen also. I'll repeat for you. 97176-83838 is our business hotline number. You can get information about this particular brand and different business opportunities on this number. You can also join us at a different social platform. We are available at Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and LinkedIn. You can subscribe the Facebook page of Franchise India Brands Limited, you can go to video library where we have created the entire video library of all the previously done webinar. You wish to connect with Gaurav sir and Sonia ma'am, you can do so by joining them at their LinkedIn IDs. Information we have just shared on a screen. And today under Bharat Franchise Show, which is the biggest franchise show ever organized by any of the franchise company, we wish you to join us for our Punjab chapter. We have invited brands representative founders of top 7 different verticals, different brands. Please do registration either at our business hotline number or at the Facebook page to join us sharp at 7 p.m. So do registration right now. And tomorrow under our Saturday weekend series, we are inviting you to join us for our legacy brands. We have invited brand Paradise Biryani from Hyderabad, Prabhuji Haldiram from Kolkata, and Momo Panda from Pune. The 3 teams, the 3 different teams from 3 different brands would come and we digitally interact with you. So if you wish to join this particular webinar, do registration right now. Thank you once again for joining in today. Have a very safe day. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, friends. Have a safe
Yeah,
day.
thank you, friends. Thank you. Thanks a lot.